Hello, Dari, Indonesia. We're here in our second year at the beautiful Mandalika circuit, watching really exciting and crazy round of the MotoGP season. Today, it's an interesting topic as we'll be talking about one of the most important aspects for any sport, the fans. And this is just fitting because in Indonesia, this country has a truly strong fan base for MotoGP, whether it's for the championship itself, the team, or the riders. But what makes them tick? Well, I'm glad to say we're joined today by none other than Razlan Razali. Hello, Razlan. Also, I'm joined by two special guests from the mosh pit, our Indonesian fans. Eris. Hello, Eris.
I'm good. Hot, but good.
And hello, Erin.
Hello, I'm good.
Good to have you guys on the show, and I'm really happy to say that we're presenting the show from the Lalo Bar in the middle of the paddock. So if there's a little bit of a party atmosphere in the background, that is very much why. Guys, where do you come from, first of all?
Yogyakarta.
Yogyakarta on Java.
Yes, in Java. Yeah.
Okay.
Different than Jakarta because sometimes people mistake Yogyakarta for Jakarta. That's two different cities.
Okay, yeah. And you guys are twin sisters, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, can you tell, Razlan?
Not identical. Identical, no.
Identical. I don't think one egg, yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Eris, you are a big MotoGP fan, right?
Yes, I'm a super fan. Hardcore fan.
But Erin, you're not.
Not really, yeah. Not a fan, but I enjoy them.
Okay, right. So we're quite interested to talk a bit today about why you're a fan and how we can maybe attract Erin to become a fan as well. First of all, though, Razlan, we're speaking on the Saturday of the Indonesian GP. We've just watched the sprint race. Dramatic day, interesting qualifying, interesting sprint race. How has it been for the team so far?
Well, unfortunately, this weekend hasn't started very well for us. Our riders did not really feel great on the bike. Probably at some extent off the bike as well. We did not qualify well, although Miguel was in Q2, but did not do too great. So to start on the fourth row is not the best, and the sprint race is always difficult to recover and try to score some points. He was nearly there before, was it Miller overtook him. So for us, even 1 point will help for the team championship. You know, and Raul struggled, had a bad start, but we all know that Sunday is a different race. It's a longer race. It's going to be hot, but I hope for some miracle and for it to rain. You know, but not a good start for the Indonesian round.
Okay. Yeah, we see for you guys are strong, but something that's not quite working for your guys.
Yeah, I mean, we were surprised that the Aprilias worked really well here, especially for qualifying. But then again, you also see Maverick struggle a little bit towards the end of the sprint race. So that's something that they have to watch out for longer race tomorrow.
Absolutely, 27 laps tomorrow. Some of the most punishing conditions I think we've seen all season long. It's going to be a very long race.
Do you think India is harder or Indonesia?
I wasn't in India.
Yeah, but for us, India is still the hottest.
Really?
Yeah. So, but it's still hot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into the topic of the show then, because we obviously have, a massive MotoGP fan with us. Hey guys, just a little bit, what would you describe a fan of MotoGP being? Is it someone that buys the t-shirt when they come to the race, someone that buys the rider merchandise, or is it someone that just casually watches the races? How would you describe a MotoGP?
For me, to be considered a fan, you have to watch every race. Not exactly you have to buy a merchandise or something because that's preference, right? But to watch the race, it's a must for me because by watching the race, you know who's winning and what's happening in MotoGP. But buying merchandise is like a plus side. Not necessarily you have to do that. For me, watching the race and following every news, every race, and what happened in the team with the fans is more important for me.
Why are you a fan? When did you start following?
Actually, it's very funny since the pandemic, because in Sunday I cannot go to church, and I don't have anything to do in the house, so I follow my father to watch MotoGP. That's the
So
start.
you're a fan because of your father?
Yeah.
And who does he like?
He likes Rossi.
Oh, really?
And then he retired, and then he likes Marc Marquez.
Damn.
Yeah. he really impressed by Mikel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he always can conquer the rain, the racing rain.
Okay.
Because wet race is always difficult, right? And not every rider can overcome that. And my father always really
So
proud
it was
to
your
look at
father that was
Mikel.
a big fan.
Yeah.
And then you, because of him, you watched the race.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, I cannot go to church. I don't have anything
When
to
did you
do
start
at all.
following?
Maybe then 2020.
Oh, recently.
Yes.
So you're a late boomer?
Yeah, I'm a late boomer. Yeah. I'm like a rookie fan.
Rookie fan.
Yeah, a rookie fan. Yeah.
And do you watch just the races? Do you watch qualifying? Do you watch every session? Because we have different kind of levels of fandom, I think.
I used to watch every session, but in Indonesia they don't broadcast the free practice and etc. And I don't want to say this, but for some reason I cannot watch the free practice. I don't want to mention it. But so right now I just watch the sprint race and the race
And the
on
main
the
race.
Sunday. Yeah, and the main race Sunday. Yeah.
Well, Razlan, you obviously have different experience from working in MotoGP. Obviously, your former role as the head of the Sepang International Circuit, now as a team owner in MotoGP. I mean, how did your interaction with the fans change from your first role to your current role?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, in any sport, fans is very important. You know, we have privilege to have such a very strong fan base. And being at the circuit, of course, our objective is to sell as many tickets as we can. You know, so the successful of GP is when you watch on TV, the stands are full.
Yeah.
You know, and during my time, every year we sell out the Malaysian Grand Prix. And the last time my last year in Sepang Circuit was in 2019. And we had 180,000 people at the track, and we sold out in the month of May or June. You know, so we are very proud of that, and I'm very how do you say, sentimental with fans, especially those fans that comes to the track.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me look good. You know, and at the same time, I'm also open to a lot of criticism when it comes to lack of certain services. You know, like food, cleanliness, and all that. You know, but that's expected. You know, it keeps us on our toes to satisfy those fans that comes to the track.
To keep improving.
You know, so it's very important. It helps our Malaysian government to justify to have this MotoGP event here and for the championship it's great for them because they love coming to Malaysia. We test in Malaysia. Even during testing, we have fans in the grandstands. You know, so it's very important. But then switching the roles to a team, it's important in a different way. It's important for the sponsors, okay? Because important in a different way because of the social media, right? Okay, that is something that all teams are working on, creating content, making it exciting, especially trying to make content that appeal to the female fans.
Yeah.
You know, because the MotoGP fans predominantly are male.
Yes.
Okay, so we want to be as appealing to the female fans, you know, not because that's why we asked you guys to be in this podcast, because you guys are interesting. You're twin sisters, one loves MotoGP, one not. But it's also great to pick on your minds as female fans. What is it that you guys love so much about MotoGP? What else can MotoGP do? What can the teams do to appeal for more women? Because at the end of the day, you know, MotoGP, we are, as a team, we depend a lot on sponsors.
Yeah.
How we survive is try to get sponsored. Congratulations. You guys are not human. Crazy.
Pablo Nieto from the VR46 Ducati team, whose riders were both on the podium today
Yeah,
in the sprint race.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Both had injuries.
Both
Both with
injuries
broken
and
collarbones.
Oh my
Quite
God.
impressive,
I mean,
yeah.
It shows how damn good the bike is. Sorry. Just a sidetrack. Now I lost my train of thought.
Absolutely. But yeah, you were asking about what, as females,
Yeah, because sponsors, we rely so much on sponsors, and the first thing sponsors ask is, okay, what's your social media following? You know, what's your Instagram numbers? What's your Facebook numbers? TikTok, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. You know, and hence we have, you know, content creators like Patrick here. You know, we do this podcast so people know what we are, you know, giving content that's behind the scenes that people don't get to see on TV. We do as much as possible to attract as many fans as possible. It's very important for us and our sponsors.
Absolutely. I think MotoGP did an official survey last year, and only around 13% of the respondents were actual females. So it's maybe an area where the sport can work a little bit to try and grow that aspect of the fan demographic. Guys, I have to ask you, why is MotoGP so popular in Indonesia? Because we've heard this for years and years and years, that MotoGP is like football. A massive profile. Why is it? Can you explain why it's such a popular thing here?
It's because of the adrenaline. I mean, compared with football, it's more like more adrenaline. Like we're watching, and we get even excited from the TV, and different from football, right?
More life risking, maybe.
Yeah, more life risking too.
That kind of feel,
Sometimes we miss drama in our life, like crashing or something like that. Yeah, that's why it's more popular than football, I think. In Indonesia.
Right. Is it quite accessible? Like it's easy to watch a MotoGP race on
Yes,
television?
the main race.
The main race, yes.
But the free practice and etc. Not really easy to watch.
They only stream the race day on the TV, only the race day. For the qualifying and for the sprint and for the...
So that's something for MotoGP to take note right now. Watch these guys.
Please make it
Dan,
more...
are you watching this?
Make it more accessible. Actually, the thing that I didn't want to mention, there is this app, and I was subscribing in this app, but the app keeps on
Lagging.
lagging and
What app is
having
this?
some errors. Vision Plus. Vision Plus.
Vision Plus.
Vision Plus. Yeah, so I get angry every time I want to watch MotoGP because the free practice, the qualifying is just error, and I was like, I'm fed up, and I didn't subscribe anymore. And I just watch the race day on Sunday on France 2. Yeah, that's the easiest way.
And there is no other...
I didn't want to get angry
Only that
every
one.
week because I cannot watch the free practice. Usually I watch free practice, like I follow each one of them,
Okay.
even the qualifying.
So Dan Rosamondo,
yeah.
Chief Commercial Officer of Dorna.
Cheaper
Please
subscription.
take this feedback.
Yeah. Cheaper subscription, maybe for maybe. Yeah. Because
Straight to the point, why not? right?
Yeah. It is an interesting point, Razlan, because I guess in countries like Spain, Italy, the UK, MotoGP is only on pay-per-view television. Fans have to pay a big subscription each month to view it. When it's on terrestrial TV, it's easier to access, and you can grow your fandom that way.
You know, when I was the CEO of Sepang Circuit, okay, unfortunately, the first thing that we wanted to release from our obligation from Dorna was free-to-air TV. Okay, because we had to pay a certain amount of money to them, and we thought at that time, why do we have to pay? We paid for them to be the official station, you know, so it doesn't work out correctly, you know, so we stopped. Hence, there was no free-to-air TV for Malaysia. It's more Astro, which is satellite TV pay-per-view, you know, so, and it's a lot to do about commercial stuff, you know, and that's in some ways help the championship sustain, help the team sustain with broadcasting fees and so on. But then again, something needs to be done to make the sports more accessible, to reach out to more fans around the world.
Football is the same. If you subscribe every little bit, if you're a fan of English Premier League or La Liga, you have to like pay for so much much money to watch every
But for Karina,
match.
you're not as big of a fan as your sister.
yeah.
Why? What?
She loves volleyball.
Volleyball?
Yes, volleyball and football. And when I watch volleyball and football, they are there, right in front of me. But when you watch MotoGP, they were like ranked and they disappear. If you watch it from if you watch it live. So I think I enjoy it. Maybe I enjoy it more on TV because I can follow them, because from the start until the finish. But if you watch it live, I think it's about more the excitement of seeing the riders. But to fully experience how they ride their bike from the start until the finish, I think you can get the full experience from the TV. It's more detailed, right? Because the camera follow them and everything. But when you watch it live, it's like only a millisecond, something like you just disappear. And I was like, who is that? Who is that? Or something like that. Yeah.
Is this the first time you've attended the MotoGP race?
No,
it's the
last
second
year I
time.
was here too.
Yeah, second time.
I was the second time.
And last year you were in the grandstand.
Yeah.
Which part? The main street or somewhere?
The grandstand B, but only on Friday.
Only on Friday.
Yeah, because we were like testing how will they manage the circuit, will manage the event, and we decided if it's good, we will come back next year.
Yeah.
Because it's exceeding my expectations, so I come back this year. Yeah.
But you were only there last year on Friday, not Saturday, Sunday.
No.
Why? You're already here.
Yeah, I know. But actually, honestly, I forgot why I only watched the free practice on Friday. I think that's my experience.
Because we want to give it a first try. We know our country and we know that this is the first time that they held such a big event like this. So we have a low expectation, honestly. Yeah, low expectation
Really?
whether it is going to work or not. So we decided to only give it a day for a try. And just like Eris said, if it's going well, then we're going next year.
again.
Yeah, we will go next year. And there are big things that there are still some improvements to be made. And this year, I think a lot of improvements have been made. It's
Yeah.
so different than last year.
It's so different
from
than
the
last year.
parking, from the
entrance,
flow, the entrance, a lot better. That's
Oh,
why
okay.
I think.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's why I bought tickets for Saturday and Sunday.
yeah.
Because I want the full experience this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And whenever you follow the sport, do you follow a specific rider or a specific team? Is it related?
Actually, a specific rider, but different than football. Anyone who wins in MotoGP, I'm just happy. Like it doesn't have to be my favorite rider or some certain team because anyone can just win. I mean, I enjoy MotoGP that much, so I don't really mind if John Mir is the world champion or Pagna is the world champion. It's okay for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's your impression as a non-fan?
My impression as a non-fan, every time she watches the race on the TV at home with my brother and my dad, I always ask her who wins the race. Even though I don't really remember who's who, I always ask her and who crashes, who something like that, because I think it's interesting for me at the start line when they all all together as one. I was like, at the start I always watch. I was like, oh my god, don't let anybody watch it. I don't let anybody fall. Because I know that it's a sport that is life risking for me. I think, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Because it is, because when you crash, if it's only you who crash, then I consider you lucky. But if you crash to another rider, then it's another problem, right? So I always ask her who crashes and who wins, because I think it's more important to finish quickly than to win. I think for me, yeah, because it's very nerve-wracking for me. So I think one of the reasons why I'm not a fan, because I'm too scared to see, because it's too dangerous, I think. Yeah.
Scared to watch.
Yeah.
You're a reluctant fan.
Yeah.
In case we have any people watching or listening at home that have never been to a MotoGP race or never visited a MotoGP race, Eris, can you tell us a little bit the difference in watching on TV and then actually being here? Apart from obviously meeting the team principal and being on the podcast, what are the other differences?
even from us, of course, it's very, very different. I mean, the sound of the bike is very, very, what do you say, melodious. It's very good. It's very nice to hear. Even when
Music to your ear.
Yeah, music to my ears. Even when in my house somebody like driving up their motorcycle, I will get mad. But
You get mad?
Yeah, I will. Maybe because I'm sleeping or something like that. But it's like very disturbing in my ear. But in here, I really enjoy that. I mean, maybe making my ears half deaf, but it's very, very worth the experience. And for me, the tickets too are not really that expensive. So I think it's very affordable. So if you enjoy MotoGP, you should maybe once in a while watch the live version. I mean, like the setup in front of you is just really different with the TV. Yeah, the sound, the fans, and looking at the rider, even when you cannot take a photo with them, it's okay too. At least you have seen them, yeah, and you can
So
tell people.
how did you get here? You're from Jogja.
Yeah,
The plane.
we took a plane last night.
Okay, so how long does it take? You take from Jogja straight to Lombok?
It's very close.
1.5 hours.
Okay.
So it's not difficult, but there's only one flight in a day.
Right.
Yeah, so from Yogyakarta to Lombok, it's very late, maybe like 5 p.m. From Yogyakarta to Lombok, and then the
return flight.
The return flight is very early, like 6 in the morning, I think.
Yeah, it's 6 in the morning.
So it's a bit hard work.
So maybe Pak Jokowi, if you watch this podcast, maybe you
More
can.
flights, please.
Yeah, more flights, please. Yeah.
Good
Should
point.
support. Support the Mandalika. Yeah,
because the flight is not very. It's very early and very late. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
not many options.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Razlan, we spoke a little bit about maybe making MotoGP more accessible on television. Are there any other ways that the sport can improve its interaction with the fans going forward?
Well, I think coming from the circuit and what I've seen when I'm outside the circuit for the last 5 years, I think the championship have done a lot for fans to be closer to the sport, closer to the riders, to the teams, and they've done it well. But I still think that there's more that can be done. The storytelling of MotoGP could be better.
I always compare this to Formula One Drive to Survive. I think there is one docu-series that was done very well by Formula One to really capture the behind the scenes of Formula One, which I think MotoGP has a lot more to offer. Unfortunately, it did not go too well with MotoGP Unlimited, and it stopped just the first season. And if we could embark into something like that, something like Netflix, where the storytelling is much more than Formula One. We know it. I watched it, all the seasons of Drive to Survive. Okay, I watch MotoGP Unlimited. Maybe I'm biased because we are already in MotoGP Unlimited, but thinking on behalf of the fans, there's a lot more that you can see. There's a lot more of true, unscripted moments in MotoGP, and there's a lot more that MotoGP can tell a story. It's not just about in Formula One, it's not just about the podium winners, it's about everybody. The disappointment when they fell, hit another rider, the emotions, and all
the
that.
drama.
That is what I think that MotoGP needs, and it will reach out more to the global audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is something you think that could be appreciated for the casual fan to see on television?
Yeah, I mean the inside, the drama inside the pitfall, something that cannot be seen in the TV. Is something you fans like.
So
to
that's
see.
why we have Patrick here to try and capture as much as possible behind the scenes. So that our content can show more.
Yeah.
And also earlier we were showed to Italy storage, and they were they educated us about the tires that were used in a week of MotoGP, which was 1,000 tires. And for a newbie like me, it was such a fun fact, and it was such an important fact because for a newbie like me, I don't know anything about that.
Well,
So,
Neil, this is something that,
Yeah.
as
I think
part
it's
of the
important.
experience with RNF,
Yeah.
is that we offer this paddock experience not only to walk the paddock, try to
Yeah.
bum other riders, or even
Yeah.
the usual pit garage.
Yes.
But we offer a technical presentation with
Yeah.
Michelin,
Yeah.
with Ixon, with Shark helmets, so that fans really get to know everything and anything about
and the preparation going behind the real race. Yeah.
So you enjoy all these things. I'm glad because
Yeah.
because I honestly I don't mean to be chauvinist, but you know,
Yeah.
for women fans, that's what you
I
guys
know.
like.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It might be a small things, but for a new fans like me, for someone who doesn't know at all about MotoGP, who doesn't know much, it's important to know about that, to be educated such things, because if, like what you said, if we are about to make a docu-series and we included that kind of material, I think it's kind of important because people know that there are a lot going on behind the preparation of the MotoGP than what we see on the race. So it's very, very important, I think.
Patrick,
Yeah.
take note of that thing.
Yeah.
Even the meet and greet. Yeah, that was super amazing for me. Because
Even
we're
though it's short,
we're
yeah.
like conversing with them in a very close contact, and they took the time to meet us. So we, as a fan, really feel privileged. Like we're talking with them, they look at us, and we like take photos like beside them without any rush. Like, can we take a video or something like that? Like really quick or something like that. So we meet and greet for me was really quick.
So there you go, Neil. I think what the
Nice.
championship have done and what the effort made by the team, we try to make it as accessible as possible for the fans. I think MotoGP have done that with the fans parade, with the hero walk, with the pre-events that they do all the time. You know, the fan zone. You know, I think, but for the fans to ask more, I think sometimes it's virtually impossible. But I think they've done enough, and I think for us as a team, we tried our best to accommodate our guests and fans as well. But like I said, maybe the storytelling of the sport behind the scenes will be enhanced more.
You guys have had a fantastic weekend here at the Mandalika Street Circuit in Lombok in Indonesia. Before we go, guys, I have to ask, great prediction for tomorrow's race. We saw Jorge Martin win the sprint today from the two other Ducatis, Luca Marini and Marco Bezzecchi. Eris, I'll start with you. Who's going to win on Sunday?
I know from the meet and greet that Miguel wishing it would be raining
Yeah.
tomorrow. So if it's raining, I will go for Miguel.
Yeah.
So I hope tomorrow maybe a little bit of rain would be nice. Because it's
Because
very
last
hot.
year he won, right?
Yeah.
He won in Mandalika, so I think, that's right.
Yeah, so
In my race,
my prediction,
Yeah.
tomorrow is raining and Miguel.
if it's right,
If it's dry,
If it's dry, right now, Jorge Martin. Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Well, you can't be following your sister.
Oh, because I think Pagnaya.
Bagnaia.
Okay, interesting. Razlan, what would you say?
Don't ask me, please. I wish it's us. That's always the wish.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it was an absolute pleasure to chat to you today. We're going to wrap up this episode of the RNF Unlocked podcast, and we open this space for your comments. Do you agree with our perspective on the fan culture at MotoGP, and what more would you like to see from the teams and the sport? Thank you once again to Razlan. Good luck for the rest of the weekend. Also to Eris and Erin, thank you for joining us and shedding some light on this topic. Enjoy the race, and we hope to see you again next year.
Bye.
Ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.